Okay, so this is a toolbox tour of my Husky from Home Depot 56-inch toolbox. I don't see a lot of these on the internet, so I'm going to put one on here. Filming this mainly for insurance purposes, but watch it if you want to. Here we go. Comes with two locks, two different keys. We'll get you into that, not a big deal. Open up the top here. That's where I keep all my sockets. So I'm not a professional. Right now this isn't a storage unit, just because I don't have a house. Going from back to front, half-inch 12 points by Tecton, both metric and standard deeps. Same thing in shallows. Nothing crazy here. Tecton, it's good company. 12 point kind of look like everything else. Get back on there. Okay. Those are kind of neat. They come in a twist off, so you can't just like pull them off. You have to twist them and then pull them. So kind of a cool thing. Kind of grab and go if you need to. Going on from there, those are obviously chromes. Chrome, deep and shallow, metric 6 points, gear wrench mainly. Some of the odd sizes are going to be like Power Torque or Harbor Freight. Most of them are going to be gear wrench. Pretty good in my opinion, have worked out well for me so far. Same thing down in shallow, gear wrench. I like the knurling on these, kind of a neat thing that they do. Yeah, and like I said, some of them might be like, that's a Pittsburgh 24. I've never used a 24 in my life, but anyways, going from there, we are looking into half-inch impact sockets. Deep and shallow 10 to 27. These are all Gray Pneumatic. Gray Pneumatic's an excellent company. They've done well for me. Some of the more common ones are obviously your lug nut sizes, like your 19s, 21s, and then 22 is pretty popular on the trucks. Anyways, going from there, half-inch swivels, Gray Pneumatic as well, from 12 to 24. I think it skips a couple. 18, 19. Oh, no, it doesn't. Nope, but the 21 is a 12 point. I don't know why that is, but whatever. I got a couple of Pittsburgh 30 and 32 mil in the corner here. Some random 3/8 e-Torques and Torques sockets here. They're just there. I got nowhere to put them. So, forgot to mention the sizing on the 12 point stuff. Goes from 10 to 24, and then this is 3/8. Up to, I think, an inch. Yep, up to 1 inch on the 12 points. Gonna be the same thing in the shallows, 10 to 24, then 3/8 to an inch. Chromes 6 points, 10 to 27 roughly, missing a 25 and a 26. In the shallows, I'm actually missing a 10 and an 11. I can't remember where I put them, so I'll have to buy a couple more. Moving on to the middle, the majority of my 3/8 stuff is right here. I got some over here, but we'll get into that. Standard impact sockets made by Sunex. Not too crazy. I've used these a bit, not horribly often, but I do. 5/16 to 3/4 in both deep and shallow. I don't really feel the need to fill the rest of it right now, so that works well for me. Those sizes are fine. Chromes, the gear wrench, deep, mids, and shallows. These are metric. I'll just pull it out. So metric 6 to 19, and then same thing deep, or same thing mids and shallows as well. So pretty cool there. I like these a lot. These are some of my favorites. Haven't had to use them a whole lot yet, but they're there. 3/8 impacts, and metric made by Sunex. These are 8 to 19 in both deep and shallow. These are some of my more common ones. 16 gets used a lot. I like these a lot. I've used these with my 3/8 impact that I'll get to later. I like these. These are good. And then I just have some 1/4 inch stuff sitting up here. Deeps, mids, and shallows from Gear Wrench. 4 to 15. And then the same for the other two. So didn't feel like getting any standard 3/8 6-point chrome sockets just because I don't feel like I need them. I don't work on a whole lot of metric stuff as it is. I probably could go without using any metric sockets, but I have some in case I need some, just not in 3/8. If I need 3/8 6 points that bad, that toolbox in my truck, I have a Husky tool kit, like the 200 and whatever piece, 280 piece toolkit's got some in there. So in standards at least. Spark plug sockets here. Don't know why they're there, but they are. I think this one's from like Walmart. Spark plug sockets are spark plug sockets. Not too worried about them. These are kind of cool. These are different sized half size sockets because I live in the Rust Belt in Michigan. So you see a lot of swollen lug nuts and stuff like that. So those are pretty cool. I got 3 different sizes of those. Some 1/2 inch swivel adapters. This random E-Torx bit, screw bit, Allen bits here. These are pretty cool. I really only actually bought this because of doing the when you put like struts in a GM vehicle, especially like the mid 2000s, the sway bar links never come off. You always just you try, but then you end up cutting them off and you end up replacing them almost all the time. So that's why I bought those, because I needed a certain size and didn't have it. Moving in the back here, these are 1/2 inch chrome in 6-point deeps, and then shallows are going to be 12-point. You might ask, why is a shallow 12-point? Well, these are the old Craftsman Maine USA. I bought them off of a guy for dirt cheap. I can't find the metric ones anywhere because everything back then was freaking standard. So those are pretty cool. These have a story behind them. And I had a different set. I had like a Pittsburgh set of these, and I swapped them out because I couldn't do these. I couldn't just let these sit and not get used, which I guess is kind of what they're doing now. But whatever. These are cool. Some of my favorites just because of the story behind them. They've been used doing this or that. So standard impact sockets from there in 1/2 inch. Pretty much all going to be Pittsburgh Pro, some Power Torque, maybe a Tecton here or there. Don't use these hardly at all. I don't think I ever have, honestly, but I have them, so whatever, they're there. 3/8 12 points metric standard deeps. 3/8 12 points metric and standard shallows. Just for reference, they go. Are those metric? Yeah, those ones are metric. I thought they were the standard. That's 6 all the way up to 24, and then 1/4 going all the way up to 1 inch. It's going to be the same thing down here as well. So pretty good set. 3/8 swivels. Excuse me. If you want to know a size that bad, 10 to 19, I believe, and then 3/8 to 3/4 or something close to that. Made by Sunex, came in the kit with these, and then these as well. Sunex they make pretty good stuff, at least in my opinion. They are pinned, so you can see. I don't know if you can see it down in there, the little pin. So I know people gripe about those, but I haven't had an issue with them. And that's my sockets. So that's where all my socket sits. Not too bad. I'm 5'9", so the box isn't too tall for me. Everything's eye level. I can see what I'm grabbing when I'm grabbing it, and I'm not having any issues. So I kind of dig this. I wasn't a huge fan of it at first. just because I came from a box where I put them all in the big drawer. But you know, I can't do that. They don't fit in the drawer. They'll end up hitting the top. They'll end up hitting the top of the drawer here. So whatever. This works well for me. I dig it. So I can close that. That's kind of what that looks like closed. Going from there, top left drawer, just some useless stuff here. This is going to be my Tecton riveting tool, some rivets, pass-through socket set that I don't use. I've had it for a few years. 2.5 pound sledge, seal puller, sawzall blades, stuff like that. So that's in there. This drawer, some fluids, some random fluid, silicone, my blue thread locker, which is getting everywhere, hair tool oil, caliper grease, which I'm not a huge fan of. I like the Permatex Ultra or the Extreme, whatever it is. WD-40 and a tape measure is in there for whatever reason. More fluids down here, WD-40 stuff. I like the fluid film the best, but I bought some of this stuff to try it out. Gasket maker, fluid film, awesome stuff for the rust belt. Black paint, yellow paint. Why do I have yellow paint? Well, I have a something in there. I was painting yellow one day. I can't remember what it was, but this is the same shit as fluid film, but named differently. White lithium grease and then penetrating oil. This one's pretty cool because it has like a flexible hose on it that you can kind of move around and get into tight spots. So pretty cool there. Middle drawer up top, just some excess stuff. 3/8 swivel head stuff, some extra knobs for sockets. This light that my fiance's grandmother got me for Christmas one year, I like this. It's kind of neat in the dark. Has a few different modes. You can kind of change it back here. I'll see if I can turn it on. Not real good at this one-handed stuff. So there's that. Astro light here, some other bits. Astro light here, which I really like. Got these. If you watch South Main Auto on YouTube, he uses these. They're awesome. Harbor Freight light made by Braun. Kind of a piece of junk, but it works. Non-flex head. Ratcheting wrenches by Gear Wrench. I got metric and standard in here. I don't have a place for them right now, so they just kind of sit in here. I don't use the non-flex head ones very often, but I have them, so I just threw them in here. And this is just some random trailer hitch lock that I got with a trailer hitch. So, yeah, that's what's in there. And here, jumbo wrenches, 35 to 50. Does skip some sizes, obviously. Harbor Freight, don't use them very often, but I have them for doing hydraulic work. I have a couple tractors up north that I do some minor work to here and there. I don't use them hardly at all, but they're here. So that's in metric. These are in standard 1 3/8 up to 2 inch. Once you get into these sizes, they're freaking huge. Angle head wrenches is how they came, so pretty cool there. Down here is all my ratchets, extensions, mini, like a little 3/8 pry bar thing. Gear wrench 84 tooth ratchets in both 1/2 inch, 3/8, and 1/4 inch. Now, people are going to ask me why I didn't get the, I don't know if it's Gear Wrench or whoever that makes the 120 XPs. These ones are great. I love these ratchets. These have honestly been pretty good. The only thing I don't like is that the flex head is kind of like a, I don't know, it's not as like, it's not the same as one like the Harbor Freight 3/8, where it's just kind of a swivel head. This is honestly probably my favorite ratchet, the Pittsburgh Pro. Don't sleep on these, man. People will talk crap about these all the time, but I went through a 2-year college degree for automotive and used this. This is what I had throughout the whole thing, and it was awesome. Never let me down once. Pretty fine tooth too, I'll let you hear it. So pretty good. 1/2 inch straights and 1/4 there. 1/4 inch one's pretty good. I do like my 1/4 inch gear wrench one though. The 84 tooth. It's pretty good. Palm ratchets here, 1/2 inch, 3/8 and 1/4. Craftsman, made in USA, 1/2 inch. So 3/8 stubby. That's kind of cool. Don't use it very often. Extensions, kind of all over the place. You know, whatever. Extensions are extensions. Nothing fancy in here. Pittsburgh, Husky. Oh, what's that? Green pneumatic or something like that. Sonex. So these have been pretty good most of the time. Haven't had any issue with these. Sorry, I got people driving around. So this drawer here. Well, see this one. This one's okay. It doesn't like to open real easy because of this. It gets caught on it, but whatever. Tire core remover. I do work in an auto shop, but I don't wrench. I'm an assistant manager, but I used to do tires, so I have that. Knife, just your standard kind of, I don't know, Walmart knife. I know how to close this. So, there's that. Air gauge, marker, thread tape, a couple tools for grinders and stuff. Spark plug tools, install tools, inline spark tester, air chuck, mirror. The inspection mirror has a light on it. I don't really want to pull it all out. I guess I can. So, has a light on it. It's kind of cool. Works okay. Its head's kind of big on it for me to use, but works fine. Then some trim tools down here. Plastic, metal, drill bits, both wood and metal. Why do I have wood bits in here? I don't know, but I do. And then another knife blade down here. Some extra keys. So, moving on. Punches, chisels, and files. Air hammer bits back here. Different air hammer bits. Brass punches for doing fuel pumps. I used this one when I did the fuel pump on my old truck. Works fine. Pickle fork for doing suspension work. Works okay. It was actually what I used this and a hammer until I got my air hammer, but I don't have any air in here, obviously. So punches are just, I think they're Harbor Freight, yeah, Pittsburgh. They work actually pretty well for what they are, and then the files are only Walmart brand files, but they do fine for what I need. Getting down into here, oil filter, wrenches, cutting blades, back here for my die grinder. I don't know if you can see them. Oh, I think it's a 4-inch. Some, you know, grinding pads, feeler gauges here, another clutch tool, there, you know, another oil filter wrench. This one's okay. Some scrapers that I just bought yesterday for head gaskets, water pump gaskets, stuff like that. So they were on sale. They were like originally $35 at Home Depot. I bought them for like 20, you know, whatever. Wire brushes, rotary burr set from Astro Pneumatic. Okay, I've used it a couple times. Moving on to the hammers. 4-pound sledge, ball peen hammers in every size, 32 ounces down to, I think, 8 ounce. Yep. So there's those. Those are pretty good. Hammers are hammers in my opinion. You don't need a special brand, although I do have a snap-on one in my truck. Not that I probably need it, but I have it. Now moving on to the biggest drawer in the box is my wrench drawer. Metric on this side, well, pretty much here over. Standard on this side, obviously. Tecton combination wrenches from 8 all the way to 22. Now these aren't very dirty because this isn't what I used when I was in school. I actually had a set of Craftsman's, which you'll see those later. Pretty good. I've used them a few times. I actually have the roll-up version in my truck. That's how much I liked them. Craftsman ignition wrenches down here, crescent wrench here, gear wrench, flex head, ratcheting wrenches, which is why my other wrenches, my non-flex heads, are up here, because I don't have a spot for them in my drawer, obviously. These are pretty good. I've used these a few times. I like the flex head better than the non-flex head, which is why these are here. So over here, more ratcheting wrenches, stubby combination wrenches from Tekton, metric, obviously 8 to 19 here. Coming here, crow's feet, metric. I need a standard set, but I don't have them. Some double box end wrenches, different variety of sizes, and typically Husky. They're fine. I don't use them very often. The one I actually use the most is going to be the 10 mil for doing bleeding brakes, which people are going to say, oh, you use 10 mil 12 point in brakes, bleeding brakes, you're going to round it off. Yeah, well, you know, just be smart. So that's all I got to tell you. Your brain's more powerful than the tool. Just use your brain. If you feel it going to round, don't use it. Sonex angle head wrenches. Can't remember the sizes, 8 to 19 I think, doesn't skip. Same thing in standard. These are, haven't used them, but I have them. Moving on, standard flex head ratcheting wrenches from Gear Wrench, from I think 5/16 up to 1 inch. Pretty good. Don't use this standard very often, but I have them. Tekton combination wrenches, 1/4 inch up to 1 inch, doesn't skip. Pretty cool set here, like these. Also had the Craftsman version when I went through school, so haven't used these ones very often. They've just kind of been sitting here looking pretty. So excuse the fact that none of my stuff looks abundantly used, because I don't do this every day, and I don't claim to do this every day. Sonex angle head wrenches, an SAE standard. Can't remember the sizes, whatever. Look it up. There's your part number. So stubby combination wrenches from Tekton, and then same thing from Gear Wrench, more ratcheting wrenches, stubby, and some Allen keys, different stuff over here that just kind of sits there. But it's the wrench drawer. I kind of like this one. It's kind of my favorite drawer other than my sockets, obviously, but I like this one a lot. So getting over here, electrical stuff, zip ties, heat shrink, power probe soldering kit, pretty good. Hose clamp, wire piercing probes here. These are the only butt connectors worth a shit using. Don't ever use the cheap ones that come on like trailers. Those are junk. And a plug for something. Anyways, another electrical drawer here. DVOM Klein Tools M600 has actually been pretty dang good. Now pretty standard, comes with a turn the light on. AC DC mode has worked pretty well. I actually put a inline breaker in here so I don't ruin stuff. I do have to re-tape it. I did kind of make it in a hurry one day, so it kind of looks like crap, but that's kind of cool. Jumper wire here. This one's kind of long. I could probably shorten this up, but it works pretty well. Got some alligator clips on the end of here. Built this myself, so that's there. Some more piercing probes, long piercing probes here and here. Strippers and crimpers. These are my favorite crimpers ever. Klein Tools. These are pretty dang good. Power Probe 4. This thing is awesome if you know how to use it. If you don't, just watch a couple YouTube videos online. These are pretty cool. You can provide power and ground to things. I use this a lot doing like diagnosing light circuits. Pretty good for that. You just have to be smart about it. And then down here is my test light, which I use a lot as well. I'm a big substituting loads fan when it comes to electrical work. It's just what I like to do. And then some electrical tape. Some kind of miscellaneous drawer here, not a whole lot in here. I made this for hanging brake calipers on a brake line one day. Little C-clamp, dead blow hammer, and a pipe wrench. Nothing crazy. And then here, kind of empty, just a couple of electric ratchets. I don't know why these are in here. I think I put them in here by mistake, but Harbor Freight one, I broke the lever on it, putting the side steps on my truck a couple years back. But it works fine, just push the button. My Milwaukee one still works fine. It's actually locked right now. Let's see if I can get that up. So I like this one better than this one because it's not as fat on the head, so you can kind of get it into tighter spaces. Kind of cool there. So air tools, battery tools. I have a torch kit in here. I don't know why, but I do. Harbor Freight Earthquake 3/8 impacts, and then 1/2 inch. Use the crap out of these, as you can tell. I mean, they're all beaten up. You held up pretty good. Astro pneumatic, stubby 1/2 inch and 3/8 impacts. These are awesome. When I was in school, I got these for Christmas last year, and I used the crap out of them. They were really, really, really good. Didn't use the 3/8 one as much, but man, these things are, I mean, if you need a stubby impact, I mean, look at that. That thing is super small. So, this electric air gauge I got from work off of our supply list. Pretty good. Beats using the old air chuck and air gauge. Just hook this up and go. IR, 1/2 inch impact, central pneumatic, die grinder works well. Astro grinder here, need to put a pad on it. And then my rotary bit grinder here. The Blue Point air gun works fine. Then the Astro stubby 3/8 ratchet. This thing's awesome. I used this for doing a water pump on a it was like a 04 Dodge Ram, and this thing was awesome. So works well. And then my Matco, big boy, my Matco air hammer. Not the biggest one you can get, but I got this one on sale. Came with all the bits and everything for like 300 bucks. So this thing's awesome. I love this thing. It's just starting to rust because I don't have air tools or air hookup right now. So I'm getting down into this side. Last set of drawers here. Pliers. I noticed the other day that I have a lot of like channel locks, and I do because they're so versatile. Husky, Craftsman USA, Harbor Freight and Orange channel ones. These are kind of cool. These are like Nipex Cobras, except cheap versions of them because I'm a cheap bastard and I don't want to pay for them. Does the same thing. I can't do it one-handed, but I've got the bigger ones, and then the smaller ones I actually use a lot more. These are still pretty good. Cutters, linesman pliers, end cutters. Use these some, not very often. Hose clamp pliers here. They work okay until I got these. This is my Astro hose clamp pliers. These things are sweet. If you don't have a set of these in whatever brand, get them. Some flip joint pliers there, and some more cutters. This is like a, I can't remember where I got this. I think these are like a battery terminal plier or something like that. I can't remember exactly what these were, but I had them. So long needle nose, use these a lot. These are from Walmart, believe it or not. This is a weird pair of snap-on side cutters that I have. Kiwi pliers. These are good for, I actually use the crap out of these pulling fuses and stuff like that. Just getting into a tight spot where you need to like get up in somewhere and just grab something and pull it out. I use these a lot. And they have a stubby version too, which are okay. Some more needle nose pliers here, Craftsman. Oh, Craftsman, I think. Lineman cutters, and then these are battery terminal plier, I believe. Whatever they are, I don't know. Can't remember, but I have them. So, anyways, down there, this is kind of a random drawer here. Got my oh, I can't remember what these are called. These are line wrenches from Home Depot. I bought them because I was doing brake lines one day. And then some random Husky metric and standard wrenches that I just didn't. I don't get rid of tools. I always keep them no matter what. So I kept them in case I need them. I kind of like them. They're kind of good. This weird Walmart thing I use for doing dash work. You can use it like a drill, but it'll also, hold on. anyways, I can't get it to do it right now, but this will turn and this will be like straight, and you can kind of get whatever. You see the idea. Pretty cool for doing dash work. Just needed a cheap one, nothing crazy. Hanson by Irwin bolt extractors. So how those work, if you see the teeth down in there, they get those out. Husky thin wall wrenches here. These are pretty good. Haven't used them very often. Then my internal and external snap ring pliers. Actually from Harbor Freight. Actually a pretty good bit of kit. Not too bad. Used them a lot. Rebuilding trans and tearing down and rebuilding a 2.0 turbo out of a Cobalt. And then some of my favorite wrenches are using my double box end ratcheting and non-ratcheting on this side. Wrenches from Gear Wrench from 8 to 19. Use these a lot when doing brakes because they're long and I get a lot of leverage on them. So those are pretty good. Just don't have a spot for them in my wrench drawer. That covers that. This is kind of a junk drawer where if I ever need to like weld a socket to a wrench and make something weird, I can. I haven't had to do it yet, but I kept all these weird Pittsburgh piece of crap sockets, my old Craftsman made in China wrenches that I don't have a spot for, or I've got too many sets of wrenches. At least that's what my wife says. I throw them in here and I can kind of modify them, bend them, twist them, do what I need to do with these. So kind of a junk everything drawer. Doesn't need to be organized. Don't really give a shit. So anyways, I'm getting down here. Screwdrivers. Some screwdrivers. Husky, who actually makes the Craftsman stuff. Pittsburgh, really long screwdrivers. This little mini pry bar, which is down here for some reason. Picks, water. You know, these are pretty good for doing like radiator hoses, stuff like that. This long grab tool I have back in here. Some more screwdrivers. I don't know where these are from. Probably Harbor Freight. Don't really care about screwdrivers too much. Don't need a really quality set. Screwdrivers are screwdrivers. I have a set off Amazon in my truck, but whatever. T-handle one. Another hose one. Some little tiny ones. Forks. Whatever. So don't feel like organizing those either. Pry bars. I have the Mayhew Dominator set. The small, medium, and large. And then I have the really long sucker right there. Sits on the side of the box. It's like a 56-inch one. That's pretty cool. Not a whole lot in here. That was a steering wheel pressure plate remover tool, or whatever you want to call it. Did a ignition cylinder and housing on a 03 Cadillac DeVille. Needed that, so I've only used it once. Husky 1/2-inch torque wrench, click type. Tekton 3/8 click type when I did my wife's old Honda Civic. Not head gasket, but the valve cover gasket. And her car needed a 3/8 one for the bolts. Did that. Oh, then I get into the kind of a miscellaneous drawer. Big drawer, some funnels here, a couple of funnels, actual nut socket set, another bolt extractor kit. That's a big bit kit you can buy off Amazon by OTC. Tekton Hex, I think they're Hex. Yeah, they're T10 to T50 long, and then 3 to 10 long in a Torx and a Hex. Impact screwdriver, some extra wrench holders, which I have, I don't know why. Brake caliper, the piston depressor tools in both double and single is over here. You know, grinding stuff down here, some grinder here, a plug for something or other, and then a little light down here. My power tools are namely Porter cable. I got them a few years back when I was broke as a joke. They've worked well. That's actually what my my 1/4-inch drivers that sits in my truck that I use on all my small engines and stuff, and this little sander. Nothing crazy in there, and that'll about do it. That's the last drawer. Box comes with a handle you can put on it, kind of push and pull it. It's heavier than a son of a bitch. So that's kind of my toolbox tour. Like I said in the beginning, I don't do this for a living. I did get a degree in it, and I'm working on getting a job as a forklift mechanic. However, we'll wait and see how that goes. But that's the Husky 56-inch toolbox with all my stuff in it. Any questions, leave them down in the comment section, down below or whatever. Oh, one thing I forgot to show you is this. I have a big extension back here, 1/2 inch on this side, 3/8 to this side. When I pulled the trans out of a Trailblazer, pretty good there. And it comes with a power strip back here. If I didn't tell you that too, but whatever. So, any questions, comments, let me know. I'll try and answer them the best I can. Like I said, I'm not trying to start anything with this, namely doing this for insurance. But yep, that's it. So we'll see you guys next time.